It had like
when
2x4s in it.
yeah. So
Like,
it
what is
just
this? Old? It's a used toothpick, and that's
yeah.
Yo, grateful. I see your peeking up a little bit.
Oh, can you see that?
Yeah.
There it is.
Either that or a very decorative vase you got there with no flowers in it.
Just very glad to see you, dude. How's it going, man? It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, I know, right? You've been gallivanting all over the United States. What's
I
going
feel like
on?
a well-traveled individual. It's been fun, man. Yeah. Last time we sat here together, we had Paranoid. So
Hell
that was
yeah, it's
fun
a fun
having him
episode.
on. Yeah, shout out Paranoid. Awesome dude, great guy. He actually I think this weekend he's out with the a couple of the craft and cannabis crew. They're at another music festival. That dude's a traveler himself. So hope you guys are having fun. And but yeah, man, I've been traveling around. What have you been up to though? Let's get into your stuff first.
I just been working and shit. Nah. Nah, I do. I harvested the Jazzy Lobaka.
Hell yeah. Do you remember what day she was
Um,
on the spot?
74.
Okay. All right. Hell yeah. You getting any specific terps profiles or anything that is sticking out to you?
Not yet. I actually haven't smoked a lot of it. I've been just letting it sit for a little bit.
Okay. Hell yeah. It was a nice sized plant. Came out to a nice big bush, right?
It was 3.9.
Hell
So
yeah.
we can call it a co-op.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it
Hell yeah,
wasn't
man.
that great. That was the last plant that like went through the fly infestation I had and a bunch of problems I had.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a little you had a little struggle there for a little bit, but you got it under
Yeah.
control, right? So,
Yeah, the new plants are going crazy
so what do you tell
and huge.
let's hear what you got going on in the garden now, man.
So I got Tangy and Nuka cheese,
Okay.
and they're both on. Let me check.
And
They
that's
should be in
the
like 40s.
Tangy F3 from the 2.0 drop, right? It's the
Yeah,
newest one. Hell yeah.
they're both on 43.
Nice. Yeah, and they were raging, dude, right? Are they are your largest plants or close to it?
The tang, the Tangy is bigger than the permanent holiday was.
Hell yeah.
The
Hell
Nuka
yeah.
cheese just a few inches short, but yeah, they're both definitely over 5 feet tall.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, you kill. I mean, and this just goes to show you that again with your progression of your growing and you're getting more comfortable with it, right? Even from just like the last round, each round you've significantly improved. And once you learn the little tricks and tips and like how to drive those city pickers, the sub irrigated planters, um, once you learn how to drive those things in the direction they need to go, they will help you out and you're just sitting back. I mean, it's not hard, right? I mean, you're literally
Yeah,
just letting her rip. I mean, it's just getting those little things down and they go.
yeah. Top dressing was a big focus this run. I definitely am
Okay.
seeing the improvements over that. Oh,
And what
speaking
do you
of, I got the sifter,
Oh
the
yeah.
the worm bin sifter this week. It's
Okay.
good.
All right. Yeah, you said you talked to the Mr. Apple about what he
I did.
recommended, right?
Yeah.
Nice. So
He
you're
still never
sifting your
told
own.
me which end of the sifter goes in my butt.
I think you may have to ask him again. He may just not have saw it, so we'll have to bug him after this.
So I did some sifting last night because like my worm bins are pretty full and there's not a lot of worms in there, but I also put like all the compost I made this summer in there
Okay.
so that like there is a lot of granular stuff.
Gotcha.
So I took both buckets out and I kind of like mixed them up and got them like even back out and then I took all the gunk and sifted it and I ended up getting like I don't know, like a couple inches layer on the bottom of a 5 gallon bucket.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's the start, man. The biggest thing is going to be once you get that population up and they're able to churn through that stuff, man, you're going to have more castings than you know what to do with. So it's one of those things that they're just awesome, man. The more perfect environment and the food and all the good stuff you give them, it's just going to explode. So I'm excited that this is your first one, man. How did it? It
Yeah.
sucks though. It sucks though trying to sift everything out, especially when you got a lot. So
Yeah.
not a fun.
I put the sifter I got is like the size of like it's like a metal dog water bowl.
Okay. Yeah.
The best way I can explain it, like a small mixing bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I just threw on a movie, got rolled a joint, threw on a movie, just sat there. I just put
Playing
my
with poop.
phone up on my garage shelf.
There you go. Hell yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
I wasn't actually trying to like get castings to get castings. It was more so to kind of even them back out.
Sure.
Cause like I keep learning more about how to do a worm bin. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this doesn't look right. Just like growing plants or anything. You're like, oh, I gotta fix this up. So I'm trying to get it to where they're both at. Both of the worm bins are at a good place.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that kind of falls back. I know for me, learning wise, I could sit here and go on all these different sites. I can talk to these different people, right? And you're like, okay, well, they tell you you've got to do it this way, or you see something like, okay, I'm watching it, and that's how you have to do it. But then you get into actually physically doing it yourself, and until you've put that time and effort in and trying it that way, you're never gonna know. It's never gonna make any sense. At least for me, I'm a hands-on kind of person. If I'm not doing it by hands, I've got to learn and I've got to fail by myself
Yeah.
before I can take out outside information and be like, oh, okay, well that's why I'm dumb and that's why it's not working for me. So cool, man. Well, when do you think you're gonna give yourself a little top dressing with your worm castings? So you're gonna use them soon, or are you gonna kind of build the stockpile up a little bit?
So I have worm castings I bought. I probably have enough for one or two more top dressings, and then I'll
Okay.
move over.
Hell yeah. Just another way to close the loop, make a little bit less money going out, right? We're able to reuse the stuff in our house instead of it just being trash. It's a cool thing. Those little fuckers are awesome. I encourage
Yeah,
anybody to get a worm bin for sure.
like being able, like just starting the worm bin, like getting in composting, getting your family off of food waste. Another fun thing I have going on is Alebrije sent me a cut of his SCOBY.
I'm so jealous, dude. I can't wait to hear all about that. Tell us, at least walk us through what you've done so far and any information that you can share.
Yeah, so I started in a half-gallon mason jar. I think it was half gallon. That's pretty big.
Okay.
And then I made a bunch of tea. I think
Regular old black tea, right? It's just like tea
black
bags
tea.
and you brew it.
Yep. I got mine was like ginger turmeric or something,
Okay.
right? So I made that, put a bunch of sugar in it, and then put the SCOBY in, and then you put like the ring of the mason jar, you put cheesecloth through it and then screw
Okay.
it on. And then I have it in my mushroom tent
Nice. And it's just
just sitting.
culturing and all that stuff, and it's such a
It
cool
looks like there's a
process.
second SCOBY in there now.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start like taste testing it soon. It
Ooh.
should be ready to pull in a little bit.
Now you've done excuse me, you haven't done kombucha, but have you done other ferments? I know you said you've done some brewing and stuff like that, and some of that stuff kind of
Yeah.
has like carryover and stuff, right? As to
Yeah, so I definitely had
technique.
some of the skills already going into this. I've done beer a couple times, and I think beer is super easy because you have to like boil it for so long that contamination isn't as big of a deal. But every time I tried to make like wine,
Yeah,
it always I always
got
got
jacked up.
contamination. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that
Or anytime I
mold? Is
tried
it
to make mead.
mold and stuff like that come, or what is it? A certain bacteria that you have to worry about?
Yeah, there's a couple types of bacteria. You could also just have like your yeast dies and then it doesn't
Gotcha.
multiply and then it all just settles to the bottom and then or you can get like the vinegar taste. From what I understand, the vinegar taste comes from having too much oxygen in the wine
Oh,
bottle,
really?
so like you didn't fill it up enough.
Huh. Very interesting.
But I haven't done it in a while. What? All right. So one time I
At
brewed a
band
whole
camp?
batch of beer. Yeah, one time at band camp, I brewed a whole batch of beer and I had the pot on the countertop, and then I'm letting it cool down before I put it into the fermenter, and I come back like a half hour later. My wife's doing the dishes, and it's in the strainer, and she
Oh
thought it was
no.
like old soup or something.
It looked like shit though.
Yeah, she's like, "Yeah, that pot that was filled with disgusting brown water."
Oh, that's such a bummer.
I was like, "No way!" Oh, she felt so bad. I wasn't that mad, but
Yeah, this shit
she felt really
happens.
bad. She was just like, "I will buy you new stuff immediately."
That's too funny. That's great.
Oh.
So it's going good. So the SCOBY, the kombucha, um, how long has it been, and what's the next step from here?
So according to the recipe that Alebrije sent me, he sent me his starter recipe.
Okay.
I think I have like another day or two before I can start sipping on it, and then before I put it back into the lock top bottles
And then
to let it
it
finish.
even ferments even more once you add it to the right. So like the what you're having is the concentrate, and then you add it to whatever other tea or whatever you're doing, and then that ferments for a little bit, right?
I
Is
think
that
you put it in a bottle where you can lock the top, and then as the fermentation slows down,
gotcha?
it'll
Okay.
it'll clear up the liquid a little bit because a lot of the bacteria that's still in the floating in the liquid will settle on the bottom, and
Okay.
then also the off-put gases from any remaining sugar, because there's a lock top, will help slightly carbonate it.
Okay. Very cool, man. Very cool. I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to come over there and try it out. And I'm excited to get some Scopy from you.
Yeah.
That would be
So
cool. It's something I've
if
always
it
wanted to do.
multiplies as like size wise, like I'll just have a shitload of them soon. So I bought
Sweet.
the least amount I could buy was like 6 giant mason jars, right? As a
Yeah.
pack. And I have enough room in my mushroom tent if I use the bottom 2 shelves where I could probably do 4 at a time.
Okay. Hell yeah. So what
I don't
they're
know what I would do with all that kombucha, but
so like here's the quart size. So you have it. So you have about this size, right? So that's a half
like,
gallon.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good size, man. You can make a lot from that.
let's get
Oh
a
yeah.
bunch of
Yeah.
them going.
That'd be cool. Do you I mean obviously you like kombucha. Is there a certain one that
Yeah.
you like, certain flavor or anything like that that you're more keen on?
So I have like stomach issues, like I'm lactose intolerant, and then I'm like sensitive to certain foods. So
Sure.
I drink kombucha, like I'll probably drink like one a week ish, just for the probiotics.
Absolutely.
My favorite one is Health Aid has one called the Cayenne Cleanse, and it has
Oh yeah.
cayenne pepper in it, and I
Is
love
it
hot
spicy?
peppers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No shit. And
and
that's the Aldi brand, right? That's the one Aldi carries at least.
I don't think it's an Aldi brand, but they
Okay.
do sell it. They do sell it
Gotcha.
there.
Yeah, I do like those ones. Between that and the other famous one GT, that's just because that's what
GT, yeah, that's my
Walmart
second
has.
favorite is
Yeah.
GT trilogy flavor.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I usually get the little box, and we'll go shopping every like couple weeks or every few weeks, and that'll usually last me about a month or so. I do enjoy having kombuchas for sure. Being an ex drinker, it at least gives me a little. It's a little something different than right. I mean, like the
Yeah,
sodas are cool, but being able to have those kombuchas definitely for anybody that struggles and wants to find a replacement for any kind of alcohol type beverages. Gives you a little something to enjoy.
it's fun having special drinks sometimes,
Yes.
regardless
Yes.
of if it's alcohol or not.
That's true. Hell
Like
yeah.
I like
Cool, man.
special drinks.
I've got to ask you because we're always talking about it in Discord. Have you pressed anything recently that is worth talking about?
Yeah, I pressed the Sawce.
Mm. Oh
Our
yeah, how you liking it?
it's very
And this
good.
was from one of
I
the
actually haven't
homies,
I
right?
haven't hit the rosin yet.
No. Okay.
I've only had the flower. But yeah, our friend Tree J's grew it.
Hell yeah. He seems to
I think he's
pop up
got
in
some
every
for
one of
you
our
too.
episodes. Oh hell yeah. I appreciate that. He's a cool cat. He's a good guy. I don't talk to him enough, but he's
Nah,
definitely a cool guy.
nah, him and I talk basically every day.
That's awesome, man. Yeah.
And then I
And I know you
usually,
guys are always trading stuff back and forth. So
yeah, one of us is running to the other one's house like once a week.
that's
So it's like,
awesome.
oh, I got some glass jars, I got some bud, he's got some seeds, I got stickers.
It's cool, man. And that's one thing I've always said. I love our online friends and I love our Discord friends and all that. And they're the ones that we're talking to every single day. But it's nice to be able to put faces to names and be able to hang out with people and be able to share that in person, joy for this plant.
Yeah,
For so long, I can't say all of us because I was never really in hiding because I wasn't doing it. I'm not one of those OGs, right? Like I wasn't doing this the legacy market, but a lot of them had to hide for a very long time. And sure, it's still a little on the iffy side, and sure, it's putting yourself out there is still federally illegal, right? But I think a lot of people are getting a little more comfortable coming out. So it's awesome to be able to have those in-person communities. It's really special. So I love that you have that connection with somebody that's so close to you.
try. Like 9 dispensaries have popped up in our area
Oh,
recently.
no kidding.
But all the ones I've looked at, the prices aren't as good as like the OG one.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
further away. The OG one's like right by my house.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I
Fucking
haven't been there in a while, but
dude, I can't tell you the last time that I've been to a dispensary. Like I really like I would have to like go looking somewhere to find, but it's been a long time, man. I'll tell you. And you found this out, and I told you early on. I said, get a fucking press, man. Get yourself a press, and you will divorce the fucking dispensary. You will not be going back anymore.
yeah. And now that I'm better at pressing, my carts are coming out a lot better.
Very nice, very nice. Your
So I'm
wife's been
like, all right,
happy with
cool.
them. They're lasting
Yeah.
longer. So
So
I
I
like it.
got five more carts coming. So I'm gonna try to make a batch of Drowsy Labaka carts
Nice. That'll be
because I
cool.
have more than enough now.
Now, do you find with the drowsy Labaka, is it what kind of effects are you getting, or would you say it's kind of along the same lines as a lot of stuff? Like, is it slightly uplifting, or do you find that it kind of relaxes you a little bit?
I don't know. I haven't smoked it
Yeah.
much.
Oh, okay, okay, fair
I think I
enough.
just had one little like tester J after it was done drying, and then I just
Okay,
been letting it sit.
hell yeah, Mister Weed Rich over there, he's curing his stuff. He only gets to the properly cured flower.
I try to do like first in, first out kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
It
here we
smells
go. A
good. Kind
little
of smells
smell
like
test.
it's like gassy banana bread.
Okay, all right, all right. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love that conversation on the last episode of the Circle with Stony, where he was like, "Yeah, like the vibe you get off of smelling it, it's usually because what you're thinking of has the same terpene."
very true. Yeah, yeah. It's is it like the olfactory senses, right? Like it's what you
Did you
smell
say
and what brings
olfactory?
back. Isn't that what it's called? Like olfactory senses, like this
Yeah,
your smell.
olfactory. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
I
you
don't know
said
how to say.
old factory, like a warehouse.
No, yeah, yeah. I may have. I'm just not gonna say it. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's like it's what you've smelled and what kind of brings back those memories. That's what it goes to. And I'm so terrible with it, man. Like unless something smacks me in the face, I'm like, oh, this smell. Like if
Yeah,
I'm
you're
having to
like,
smell it and start like, I do not have that ability. Actually, because I made a video today and I was trying to smell everything, and I don't have that. It's something that I really got to work on, and I'm jealous of everybody that's able to. It's really fucking cool. We like smelling shit. And the sommelier, is it the sommeliers that do like the wine, and then of
wine.
course you have the cannabis ones now, and the fact that they can smell a bottle of wine and know what year it's from, what area and as to why it smells like that. Like
Yeah.
it's
Like,
wild.
that's how I describe terpenes to people that aren't super in the weed. I'm like, do you know how wine tasters are like, oh, there's hints of cherry. It's like,
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
yeah, I got these Squid Game rosin
Oh,
jars.
check that out. Hell yeah. That's cool.
I'm excited. Season 2 is in a couple months.
Okay. I don't think that I've ever watched them all the way through, but I've definitely watched a good amount of them. They're pretty gnarly, it's a pretty crazy story.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hell
I
yeah.
found those because usually when I go to get more jars, all they have are like the super name brand ones.
Okay.
I'm like, I'll definitely take the TV show ones off of ones that say like runts on it, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
You went out to Hollywood.
Yeah, man. Last weekend, it was quite the trip, man. It was everything I expected it to be, right? It was the reason why I went out there. Excuse me. The reason I went out there was for the Alebrije drop. He did the West Coast Tucadilla. So there was a party. He did the in person drop was in L.A. Um, and it was on top of a rooftop. We got to hang out. Reverend Pirate Frog and Association for Free Weed were the suppliers of the they had dabs. We had some pre-rolls. Of course
Party
there was other.
favors.
Yeah, man, it was, so they supplied everything. Of course there was a couple other people. We had Mr. Judas. He was there. He was rolling some fat ass joints. I mean, look, when I'm telling, like they were like this, and I mean, like, he was putting two or three papers together, and we were just passing around. So he was there. Growganics was there, and of course they had their two wives there. I got to meet the homie New Moon, and so that was really awesome. For as much as him and I have gone back and forth talking, and for how much I enjoy his covers and everything that he does, to be able to finally meet him in person. We sat down next to each other. We got to enjoy some cannabis together, and hopefully he doesn't mind me saying that. But it was just a cool thing to be able to hang out with all of our friends that we talk to on a daily basis, um, and get to know these people. I mean, we already know them pretty well, but there's definitely it's a different connection. I think once you've met an online friend in this kind of sense, that to where we talk every day, we now know each other in person. So it's just something special. Um, and then, of course, there was a couple other people. The artist for the Drowsy Labaka, he was there. I don't know how to say his name properly, so forgive me. So I'm not going to say it. But he was there, and so it was good to meet him. I think there was a couple other people, but they were from not so much YAG folks, where I don't know them quite as well, and I can't remember their names off the top of my head. But they were all hanging out with us. We had the dab bar from Association from Free Weed. He had all his stuff. He had all his little devices. He had a peak that I had smoked out of, and he had all these cool things. And of course, Alebrije was there with his wife, and they just the first drop that I went to was really awesome in the sense where I was able to drive down there, hung out. I got to meet Joe's Canagro. He was in that area, so um, but it was a different vibe. That first one, Alebrije did a 101 auto flower class, so he was busy doing that. So it wasn't as much of a hangout. I can tell you from this one that we just had in Hollywood. Be ready for next year, y'all. Wherever it is, I think it's going to be in the Central Coast, as some may call it. So it's going to be in that area. And if you're a fan of Alebrije, if you want to have a good time and hang out, definitely keep your eye on it. I don't know when it's going to be, but don't miss it, because I can tell you this last party that he had was awesome. And don't miss his drops. He's only got two more coming out for this year, and then that'll be it for the year. I think those are going to be in December, so keep your eyes on them. So that's what I did last weekend. in a long rambly sense. But
Hell yeah,
no,
that
yeah,
sounds
no,
mad
and
fun.
so of course I stayed over at Rev's house, and I got a tour of
Sleepovers.
yeah, it was a fun sleepover, man. He's a cool cat. He's just as cool as you'd expect in person. So we ate some tacos, we smoked some weed. I got to see his garden. And that's the other thing that I like to be able to do is be able to meet these people that I see their gardens online, and going from just a picture, and now I can actually be like, oh, I've seen it in person. It's just another one of those like little cool things. But he took me around. We got some tacos, and he showed me some of the beaches, some of his surf spots. I can see why people live out there. It's like a paradise, man. It's just so nice. Um, Too expensive for my taste, and I as much as I hate the East Coast, and I hate the snow. Um, I can see why they like it, but I am going to stay over here on the East Coast for sure.
I am
But
definitely
yeah,
over winter though. Fuck that.
yeah, it sucks. It sucks. Now, if I could, this would be my ultimate dream, right? So if I could work during the summer, fall, spring, but then during the winter, I just hibernate, right? Like I
Yeah.
don't have to go do anything. Like I don't want to work. Like I just want to be able to like I'll go stoke my fire. We'll kind of hang out. But yeah, I hate the cold. Trust me, it's not my thing.
The worst. I have the sauce mom.
Okay, yeah. Well, so you said that
Still looking
you
healthy.
smoked some sauce, and the sauce. This is the first time you're ever smoking the sauce, right? Just this time.
No, I had a little
Okay.
bit before, but it was just like one joint.
Okay. But
Just my
I know
it's my
you
first
had
time having
mentioned,
like weight of it.
gotcha. Because I know if you go over to BGG's Discord, he posted I don't know if you've seen it, but he posted something that you had typed to him in a message. I don't know if you had seen it. I don't know if this is the first time you're
Oh,
hearing of it.
no,
um,
no, no. I remember having the conversation. I can't remember what the exact details were though.
but yeah, so he posted it to the Sauce sub thing, and ping the message there. So I was like, oh, okay, so he really likes this stuff. So I'm
Yeah,
glad
it's been
that you
awesome
enjoy
so
it
far.
and it's working out for you. It's definitely more of a medical type thing, right? And that's what you enjoy about it.
Yeah, it just kind of like yeah, like melts your face.
That's cool. And
Yeah,
it speaks too for the guy who grew it. I mean, obviously he's a pretty good grower too, I guess.
because I get like with my migraines, it just feels like someone's pressing on my head, right? And then when I smoke, it like falls off a little bit. But with the sauce, it's just like
That's
it's
awesome,
like
man.
power off. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah. And that's really what BGG had worked that line too. So I mean, the fact that you're not the only one that has said this, it just goes to show that what he bred it for and the effects that he gets from it, and then it goes across to other people. I mean, it just goes to show you that that plant is definitely something special, that it's helping you out. And now you've got your own mother. So tell us about how that's going.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like a little over a foot tall, starting to get like actual branches and stuff. It's not just like getting the middle leaves going anymore.
And you are you what's the next step? Are you working with BGG to kind of help you figure out what's going on, or are you just kind of winging it, going to take clones whenever you do?
Yeah, I'm just gonna let it go for. I figured until I have a couple weeks left on my current run, and then I'll take the clones and get them rooted, and then I can throw them right in once
Hell
they're
yeah.
ready. I'm down to 3 city pickers because I'm not replacing because I'm gonna do this with the sauce. I'm not replanting the one that the Jazi Labaka came out of. So now
Oh
we're
yeah.
just waiting for the tangy and the nuka cheese will be done in like a month. And then I have citrus bubblegum that are it's like a week or two behind.
Okay.
So probably in like 5 weeks I'll be able to plant the clones.
Sweet. So yeah, you'd be able to and then this is going to be your first taking. I mean, obviously I brought you those Hella Jelly clones, but we all know what happened
Yeah.
with those.
Yeah.
Now you've got your you've got your own plant that you're taking clones from. What did you learn from that first experience with the Hella Jelly, and what do you think you're gonna how you're going to succeed this time?
Oh, probably take more. So I think one part of it is that I like helicoptered it too much because I only had one cut, so
Fair
it
enough.
had to work where I can
Yeah.
take as many as I want, and then
Yeah.
that way, yeah, if 8 of them die,
You still got
all I need is 4, right?
sure. Oh yeah.
The other thing is that dirt I put our clones in was the gnat infestation dirt.
That was what spiraled everything out of control. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, this again, and not to throw shade on you, but this just it goes to show when you get like cheaper soil, or you might not even want to consider that soil. That was just bagged whatever. But it just
yeah.
goes to show
It
you
had
when you
like
when
2x4s in it.
yeah. So
Like,
it
what's
just
this old? It's a used toothpick, and that's
yeah, dude. It was it definitely had some stuff. It had some substance to it. So, but it just goes. I think if you start with good inputs, right, or as good as you can, um, and use your judgment, right. If there's something where it's got a ripped open bag and it looks mangled up, or you can, they're storing it outside, or it's just not from a reputable place. You may end up getting something like that, and you can't blame it on. I can't tell you how many times I hear um, peasy with the bugs and this and that, and that it kills me because people automatically think you're an organic grower or use organic inputs or you're using soil, that you're automatically going to have bugs. And sure, you're going to have those things that are inside the soil, but they're not out and about. They're not to an infestation level where you're seeing them, right? At least it
no,
shouldn't. If you do, then there's something that you should be addressing, right? Like if you're having all that stuff, then that stuff is going into your bud, right? Then yes, that is bad. But I can tell you, if you're just because you're an organic grower with soil does not mean you're going to have a tent full of wildlife taking over your
no,
house.
no.
So,
But
but just
having a shitload of little creepy crawlies in the dirt itself is awesome.
it
Where
is, man,
where you
because
lift
it's
up the
it's
city picker cover and they're all just like,
yeah, right. It's
oh,
it's just
what were y'all doing in here?
yeah, right. That's great. But yeah, man, I mean, it's again, to each their own, but I'll always preach the organic route, and I think it's not as bad as people like to, or not like to think, but people have imagined. So
Yeah. I also have the mini city picker going for the bonsai.
yeah, how's that going? I don't think I've seen a picture in a little bit. That's
It's
with the
good.
little
Yeah, it's
new
going
moon thing on
slow,
there. Yeah.
but it's yeah, it's doing pretty good.
Have you started? I mean, because I imagine it's probably big enough that you can put the water down the little hole, right?
But yeah, I've been doing it the whole time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, perfect.
And I even fill it up um just because it's so small, I even just like fill it up to the top of the straw.
Oh no shit.
And
Hell yeah. Hey.
then I also top dressed it this week
Okay. All right.
just for like it's such a small amount of dirt. I'm like, let's just keep it rolling kind of thing.
Yeah. It's I'll tell you, you haven't done many small containers yet, right?
No.
It's it's a
Not,
it,
I
it's
haven't done one successfully at all.
fair enough. Fair enough. It is definitely a learning experience in it of itself. I mean, especially being an organic grower of a top dress where your inputs are only what the soil is processing, right? You're not you do have some water soluble stuff that you use though, right? So some of that soil maker
Yeah, so
stuff,
that's
and then
another thing. Whenever I use water soluble stuff in the big tent, I make sure to give the small containers a little bit of it.
yeah. Oh, fair enough. I mean, it's like I've been having a bonsai or like a quarter gallon to a half gallon pot going pretty much all my grows at least for close to a year, if not about a year now. And I enjoy them, but they are something that you have to learn for sure. It's their own process, right? You've got to make sure that if you are growing organically, you have to make sure that that soil is staying at a good moisture level. Otherwise, you're losing shit. right?
Yeah.
It gets out of whack, and then you're top dressing, and it doesn't matter because now it's got to start the process all over again. Keep those things nice,
Yeah.
and then again, that's what goes to show you sips, right? And
Sips.
even my my like little quarter-gallon skulls or little planters that are not sip containers, I put them in a tray that has water in it, and it's drinking it up from there. That makes it so much easier for smaller containers. So
You just gave me an idea. Remember Sips juice boxes? If we made a city picker out of a Sips juice box,
oh shit, that'd be funny.
that'd be so good.
Well,
Next
that's
year.
how a lot of this started, right? Where our first video together was the bonsai with the tennis
The
racket. So
test
yeah,
racket.
we've got to come up with sillier things for little bonsai pots.
Speaking
Oh
of
yeah,
content, we haven't really put out a video in the past week, but last weekend we did drop the small plant harvest video, which is awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Speaking
It
of
was
bonsais and
yeah,
content.
it was um yeah, it was just about that time. They were all kind of coming to the end. Um, I lost control of a lot of them, unfortunately, because I was traveling, and so they started getting a lot of deficiencies. I didn't keep up with the top dressing like I was just preaching a minute ago. So they definitely got out of control. Um, but I got a lot of good seeds. I can tell you everything that I saw in
So
there.
many.
A lot. It was funny actually. In that video, I'd have to look up exactly. Oh no, I know exactly how many I had. So I had put in there when I was harvesting that little crate one. It was the Mystery Mezcla 20, the brand new one that just came out. So it was the Tangy crosses. Um, I harvested that, and in the video I had mentioned everybody take a guess as to what they thought was going to be on there, and I can tell you nobody got it even close. Everybody was like 30, 40, 60, this or that. It ended up being like 130 something seeds on a stick that was like this
God
long,
damn.
had no branches. It was just buds straight up. And the only thing that I can think of is it just got the right enough amount of pollen at the right time, and the 91 male had good pollen, and it did what it had to do because everything had seeds. And I'd like to give BGG a shout out again. He's another one that we're always talking about, always preaching about. But I had harvested my first two plants of the smaller containers, and it was a fucking pain in the ass. Like, the one thing that I am not enjoying about this whole making seeds is then having to collect the fucking seeds, because it is not an easy process. I mean, you've got these plants, right? So they're dried. Now you've got to get it off of the branch and get it broken down to get all the plant material off of the seeds. And the first two plants that I had, what I did was I just kind of did it and then had it on tray, and I'd kind of sift them out, and then I would like kind of shake it a little bit, get some of the seeds, and then I collect them, or I'd be picking them out with my hands, and it took me forever. And so I talked to BGG, and he gave me this really awesome tip using a tray and a colander and having a just a hand towel. And it's really cool. I'm not going to go too much into it. I can't be giving his trade secrets away, but he definitely helped me out there. So shout out BGG. I fucking churned those plants out like they were nothing, and it works really fucking well. So harvested those, and I've got so many fucking seeds. I can't even give them away. There's so much, so much. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that's what I'm planning for my next run after the sauce run. I'll just grow whatever you want me to.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I've got a few in mind. You'll see in the video. Again, I did a harvest video today. Like, I literally, like, 10 minutes before we came on here to record, I was downstairs. I still haven't finished cleaning the room up, but I've harvested. I've officially ended the project downstairs at day 100. All of the 91 grapefruits are cut down, and the project's done. It's over. Our kind of not how we started, but this was really like, I think when we first started talking about doing YouTube content, I was like, dude, I got a breeding project coming up. How awesome would it be just to document it, and just as someone that's a complete noob, someone that has no idea, someone who's not a breeder, someone who doesn't intend on being a breeder, but someone who wants to make seeds and show everybody that it's not uh, it's not the end of the world. You're not going to, you know what I mean? Like, sure, I didn't get anything from this round, but it's make some fucking seeds, right? Like,
Yeah.
why not? It's fun. You have something that you made and something that you can be proud of if it's worth a damn. And it's just something that you can share with your friends. And that's all I ever intended on doing this, is making some seeds, making some cool things that I could fuck with and share with my friends. That's it. So that's what
Mission
started a
accomplished.
lot of this. Yeah, mission. I think it was cool, man. It's really awesome to see everybody that's kind of said that they've either watched our videos and this and that, and being able to talk to people. And this has been a learning process for me. And again, that's all these videos that I've ever done, coming from a place where I am just excited to be able to learn and to be able to document it. And if I learn something differently, then it helps me. So that's I think it's been awesome. I'm so excited that we're now going on to this the next journey. I'll be like I said, I've cut everything down, and we're going into a perpetual grow. So I've got actually my seeds right here. These are the three that I'm
Nice.
going to be doing. I've
What are you
got
running?
so I've got Odin Sons, but from my understanding, these are not the fem versions. These are the older ones. They're the regular. It's an F4 or
Okay.
something like that. So these are ones that BGG gave me, and so I'll be planting 2 of those in hopes of a female. I'm finally gonna run Jack's Frost, so we've got that going in one,
Awesome.
and then I've got Hummingbird Hills Ashberry. So
Oh,
I've got one of
cool.
those. Yeah, so those were ones that he handed me. That another person that I got to meet out in California was Hummingbird Hills. He came to the Alebrije drop. Awesome dude. He is a wild one. He is full of energy. I'll tell you, when Hummingbird Hills comes into the room, you know he's there, and everybody's looking at him like, "Oh shit, who's here? Who's loud?" I love the guy. He's fucking awesome. I'd love to have him on the show sometime to talk. He is
Hell yeah.
he's a fireball for sure. Really cool dude. We're gonna keep in touch. He actually requested some of my seeds, so I will be sending him some of the ones that I made, in hopes that he grows them and enjoys them and does whatever he does with them. So shout out Hummingbird Hills. You're an awesome dude. Thank you. I'm sure you don't listen to this. Whatever. So yeah, that's my plan, man. I've got after this, I'm going right back downstairs. I've got to finish. I've got my little Petra Tools fogger. I'm going around spraying the walls, wiping it down, just to try to kill any possibility of um, pollen that may be. I'm having a feeling that I'm probably just not going to clean well enough, and then I'm probably going to have some pollen still floating around. Is what it is. Luckily for me, it's my own pollen, it's my own flower, so I don't care if there's any seeds, and there's no way that it's going to be seeded enough to really piss me off. So it is what it is. We'll get it just enough ready for this perpetual grow to kick off, and that's what I'll be doing. It's what you guys can I can bother you guys with now is my perpetual autoflower grow and how I do it, how I it'll just go into just documenting my grow, and maybe showing people that like the way that I grow. It gives them an idea of how I do it, and they can watch the results as I either succeed or fail. And then again, we can learn from it, and then hopefully help somebody. Things are going to be shifting now, right? Even though I stopped with the outdoor, and I've really, I should do like a final wrap up to be like, hey guys, like, sorry I failed. Didn't, we still got really good stuff from the garden.
Yeah.
I will not, as though it wasn't pretty and it wasn't wonderful. We got a lot of good vegetables out of there. I had fun. It was a learning experience. Again, like I've said in all the videos, it's always about learning, getting next year even better. But I've got to get out there, and I've got to at least do a wrap up video saying that what we're doing for next year. But what I'm trying to say is this is kind of a transition period where we're not going to have the outdoor stuff. We're not going to have the breeding project. We're kind of shifting, right? We're doing the perpetual autoflower grow, and I'm getting my head stash up, and then it's starting to get a little bit colder out. I've got some flower stock that I've been saving onto for a little bit that is intended for washing, for processing, for hash. So though I am not badger, I am not a professional hashishan. I don't know the stuff
Hashishin.
well. Yeah, whatever I don't know what they call it.
Is that the
You know,
industry term?
I think so. Yeah. We'll have him on to school us for sure. He was on YAG, so you guys can always go and find his episode. He was also on Crafting Cannabis, and I think he talks a little bit about that stuff. He knows his stuff. Definitely, he learned from Frenchie, and he's pretty
Yeah.
much known as the guy in that industry. So definitely got to bend his ear, but that's what I'm going to try to do is, I did some processing last year and I got some really good stuff. You smoked some of it. You enjoyed some of it. So
Yeah, that was
um,
awesome.
yeah. And it's just kind of, it's cool. I am more obviously like a flower rosin person and I smoke joints, but I really, really enjoyed having that hash rosin, right? Processed into hash and then I press it. It's really cool. It's definitely, I can note, I'm not a connoisseur in the sense where I could tell you everything that was different and why it was so good, but I could definitely say that I did enjoy the hash rosin. It seemed a little bit cleaner. I noticed when using my with my bangers or an e-device, the hash rosin definitely is a little bit cleaner in those bowls, and it seems like it wipes up and it's got maybe a little bit more flavor than that flower rosin. So that'll also be something that we'll be going into next. We're gonna do some the way that I did my hash rosin last year. So we'll have that, we'll be working on that, and I will be doing a lot of that's probably my plan is I'm going to wash most of my plants over this winter. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it'll
So
be fun. Yeah, I need a winter inside extra activity. I broke down my garden last weekend.
okay.
Me and the little one did.
So your outdoors is done.
Yep. Which successfully I left one cucumber on the vine to let it like over ripen so I could get the seeds, and I got a bunch.
Nice.
I'll give you
Okay.
some.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Those cucumbers were raging. I was like, all right, I definitely want to keep some of
Save
those
it.
because.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we ended up with a lot of our tomato, like we got a lot of tomatoes, but a lot of them had already like either started to rot or like bugs had gotten into them, kind of thing.
It was tough, man. That happened to a lot of my stuff. Honestly, a lot of my tomatoes, what I let it do is I just let them kind of fall down to the ground, and because I got so many volunteers that just popped up different places this year, that my 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 large beds that I've got there, those two silver ones that are like 3 foot tall, corrugated type bed.
Yeah.
I let the tomatoes just fall and rot in there. So I'm hoping that they'll. I mean, I'm not. I know they will, but they'll come up next year. Whatever survives, and we'll kind of go from there. So I think that's awesome.
Uh,
I'll have to pull some in too, and I think it definitely. When you grow. So say like if you were to grow those cucumbers and you grow them each year, they get acclimated to what works best in your area, right? So like that's definitely awesome to be able to provide yourself with your own seeds and not have to go buy them. So that's awesome that you did that.
yeah, next summer is gonna be a lot better because then I'll also have like the worm bin and the composter. Because I didn't have a composter at the beginning of this summer either.
And you didn't have the
So
JLF that you're working on either. So
yeah,
you're going to be all set. And I
should
think
be
last
good.
episode, if I remember correctly, last episode we kind of talked about that you were building new planters, or you were going to be working on. So you have your
I built one. Yeah,
nice, hell yeah. So
got that
it's
out
gonna
there. So I went to Hudson Valley Garlic Festival today, and that's like one
nice.
of my favorite events to go to every year.
Okay.
But this was my first year going since gardening, so
So now you
I
have a
was like,
different eye. You were like looking around at
yeah,
things. Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. So there's all these different, so like there's so much different stuff there because there's like over 100 vendors or something like that. It's just
Wow.
streets and streets of different tents and stuff. And I walked up to just a random guy that was selling heads of garlic, and the first thing he said to me was, "Do you like hot or sweet garlic?" And I said hot, and he said, "Do you like really hot garlic?" And I said yes. And then he like took a knife and he cut like a little sliver off of a clove and gave it to me, and it just like wrecked my day. And I was like,
Oh no
okay.
shit.
And then I just immediately bought 2 bulbs of it from him.
Oh
I was like,
nice.
okay.
Hell yeah.
So I figured I'd do something. But yeah, they were super hot. I think he said
Okay.
they were called Russian purple was the
Okay.
strain.
I have heard of those. Yeah,
And I was like,
that's gonna be fun, man. So you got them you got them in intent for saving them for seed and planting them.
I don't know. Hopefully.
You might just eat them.
Yeah, I might just eat them. But yeah, it's very good. Hopefully I get something like that. But I do intend on getting garlic going.
Hell yeah, yeah. I know that
The
that's a you got to plant them like not now, but getting pretty close to planting them
like a
for next year,
month,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
couple weeks.
Hell yeah, I'm excited
The
about that.
We got so much cool shit there
Yeah.
at the garlic festival because there's all different types of stuff, right? And then most vendors will make a garlic themed like version of their food. So if they're like a
Okay.
cupcake company, they'll have garlic cupcakes and stuff like that.
Oh, that's got to be weird. I mean, I love garlic, but garlic cupcakes, I don't know about that.
We had garlic ice cream, which was very good.
Was it really?
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah. If you roast garlic for a while, it gets sweetness to it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And
Well, that's
then
cool, man.
garlic fudge because there's a fudge place that's always there. We actually bought candy corn fudge from them. So the brick has the 3 colors in it, and then it has a
Oh
bunch
no
of them on
shit.
top.
Huh.
Yeah. We
Okay.
so what we do is we save all of our pocket change and like most of our ones and stuff all year, and then that's
Yeah.
like our spending money there.
So you
So
like this is that's really serious, like serious business.
yeah.
Garlic festival. Like,
Yeah.
don't fuck with Nerd and his garlic festival.
We bring like a bunch of bags and stuff, and we just load up because you can get stuff to like. I love cooking, so we get stuff to cook with, like really
Hell yeah.
nice ingredients to cook with for a long time, as opposed to buying stuff at the grocery store.
That's awesome. And you're supporting local. I mean, it's local people that have grown it, right? I mean, it's not like you're
Yeah,
so your money's not going to Walmart or going to Aldi's. It's going to someone that's in your community, which is awesome.
yeah,
I like it.
it was cool. It was raining, so we got wet, but
Oh,
it
bummer.
started to pick up, and then we left. And then,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was raining the whole time because they're supposed to be. I don't think they did it, but there's supposed to be like different stuff for kids. But
Okay.
I think because of the rain, they skipped a lot of it.
It's a bummer.
But yeah, it's like giant farmers market kind of thing.
That's cool. Family had fun. That's what's important.
Yeah,
All right. It's cool.
we got. I always want to get food there because that they'll have like garlic filled Philly cheesesteaks and stuff like that. But I'm like,
Okay.
I never want to spend the money because I'm like, I want to buy stuff to cook with. A lot of hot
Yeah.
sauce companies there.
Okay.
It's
Hell
pretty
yeah.
cool. I didn't buy any because I think we still have like 8 bottles that are unopened. But
It's cool. I know there's some of the guys in our Discord that they make some of the some hot sauce and stuff like that. I know it's definitely that's another hobby that people really get into is doing different kinds of hot sauce. I'd love to get there at some point. I got to
I've
master the gardening first.
right. I've made hot sauce, but with store bought peppers, like not grown
Gotcha.
peppers.
Yeah,
You and I both watched Terrifier 1 and 2.
you sure did, man. Yeah, I bummed my dude. I look today or that day Friday was a realization that I am getting old. I mean I've got a bum back. It is what it is. So I've already got those issues, but I was literally just walking around this guy's front yard, and all of a sudden my back just started to tighten up, and I was like almost couldn't walk, and I had to go lay down, and of course I was like, well, I'm gonna watch some movies, and you're like, may I recommend anything? And I was like, let's go. What do you got? And So I laid in bed for that day and just watched some movies, and those two were wild, dude. Like, and I was starting to wonder because like you know you see on like Instagram or wherever where people use Art the Clown, right? They use him
Yeah,
as added in there somewhere, and the dude always looked gnarly. I
a
was
lot
like,
of
what the fuck?
memes. Yeah,
Yeah, what the fuck is this from? I had no idea. I was like, I mean, obviously it's got to be like a horror movie or some kind, but I had no idea. And then when you recommended that, I was like, I've seen that mother,
yeah,
he looks familiar. So yeah, but it was gnarly. Again, I don't want to like you usually do. You don't want to spoil it too much, but the dude is crazy, man, and it's a wild series. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
yeah. I like those movies a lot, so I watched them as well this week. I watched 1 and 2, and because three's coming out in like a week or two.
Okay, that's in theaters, or are we gonna be able to watch it on online?
I think it's going to theaters.
Okay. Well, it's a good family one. We'll be able to take the kids out too.
Yeah, right. The so what I like about those movies, they feel almost like nostalgic because even though the violence is so over the top and disgusting, it's like done in a way that it almost feels like you're watching 80s movies
Like a thrasher type or slasher.
slasher movie. Yeah, like an
Slasher,
old
yeah.
school slasher. I think
Yeah.
it feels more like, and it
Yeah,
feels
because when they
like
chop something off or do something, like
yeah,
there's just like
all
it's
over the
going
place.
everywhere. It's crazy.
But it
But
has
yeah, it
that
makes me jump.
vibe of like watching horror movies when we were little and they were on TV and it was all stuff from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah,
So I
I can
get
see
that
that.
vibe from it. The first one is definitely more like grindhouse, very gritty, nasty. The second one
Yep.
has more fantasy elements and has more of a plot to it.
Yeah, it's a great story. Yeah, like you said, like that first one, I'm watching. I'm like, damn, like dude, because it's what it's basically most of the movie is uh inside a warehouse, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of where it ends
It all
up and
takes
where
place on like the same block, basically.
yes, yeah. Um, so yeah, it gets pretty wild. It's just not so much of a storyline as more of just like the poor folks are getting chased around to where
Yeah.
the area being tormented by some crazy looking clown. And then the second one definitely gets into some really cool stories. And of course the main character, she's a fucking badass. She's awesome.
Hell yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
she has like good final girl energy.
Yeah. No, it really turned it cool. There. I think this goes with that. I don't think this would be like spoiling it, but definitely you get that where it's like that supernatural type stuff comes involved. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
And I believe the third one is supposed to take place 5 years after two, and it's the same characters.
Okay.
So
Huh.
that'll be
Is
fun. Yeah.
is there a trailer out there or anything that you can check out, or is it kind of
Yeah, there's stuff.
okay? All right, I'll have to check it out.
And
Oh
there's
yeah.
also people are giving their early reviews because I believe they did a screening at a festival last weekend.
Oh no shit. Okay.
So I've been watching a couple of those too.
Hell
People
yeah.
are saying it's crazy. They said it's
Really.
like way, way, way more violent, but it's not in a way where it's like super offensive. They like find clever ways around it, basically, is what I've been hearing. So
Nice.
should be
Yeah, I
exciting.
mean, this will be everything everybody that knows us and hangs around us knows that you're a big horror fanatic. You love it. And I think this coming up
Yeah.
this month will what we'll do is we'll kind of we've got 2 weeks that we do this, and we'll pick like me and you will talk, and we'll pick like a horror movie to kind of talk about or to watch, and if that's something that the viewers are interested in, I think that'd be something cool that we could do is we could pick like a movie, and maybe we could
Yeah, it'll be
even
fun.
maybe we could even put it out to the Discord, say, hey, this is the movie that we'll be watching, and then we'll kind of talk about it on the podcast. I'm kind of this is literally just coming off my head right now. Nerd had no idea I was gonna say this.
We really should have discussed this off the air, but
right. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just like fun, like to have like almost like a movie club type thing. Like, hey, we're gonna watch this one, and we'll talk about it on the podcast or something. Like, just say how we watch it. And it gives us something to talk about during the week too. Like, oh shit, did you watch? So I think that'll be kind of cool. Yeah, and we're definitely going to be doing that with October. October will be Halloween, something special for me. My mom's birthday is the day before Halloween, so it's always been a big thing in my family. And you're a big Harrison, so we'll definitely be consuming a lot of horror stuff throughout the month. So
we got some fun horror themed content lined up.
We did, yeah.
As well. You have anything else you want to talk about?
I think that's it, man. I think we rambled on enough. I've got some shit to go do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, man. I'd like to just shout out to the community again. Shout out to everybody that was out in California that hung out. Shout out to Rev for putting me up for the weekend. He picked me up from the airport, dropped me off. I appreciate you, brother. You've been great. And of course, by the time this or actually it's already been mentioned, the YAG planters, I got those out to Johnny this week. So the YAG planters are going to be going up for sale very soon, I think next week. So don't miss those. There's only 9 of them because I commandeered one of them. So it's the cut that I get. I don't know what to tell you. I get one of them.
It's the mommy cut.
Yeah, my mom calls it the angel cut. It's the rent that I charge for the studio. If she's going to be making my friend's stuff, I get one. It is what it is. So, but yeah, so those will be coming out soon. Only 9 of them. There will be more people that want them than there is. So if you want one, you've got to get with Johnny to get your name in the order. They're going to be doing some sort of spin the wheel. You pick and you get what you get. So,
yep, I believe there's a entry raffle in their Discord right now.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I think this will be coming out probably either later today or tomorrow. So it'll be Sunday. You got plenty of time. Get over there. Don't miss it. And that's who I've got to plug. But what about you, dude? Fuck them all.
Yeah. Huh? Fuck everybody. I hate everybody. Nah, I want to shout out the community too, because between like the kombucha and starting the mom plant, and I'm trying to learn a lot of new things, and I've had to call in a lot of favors, ask a lot of questions of people. So thank you for putting up with me.
Yeah, no, it's amazing, man. The community that we're around are just some awesome folks. And the community that's been around our YouTube stuff, right? I mean, we can't fail to mention that. The videos that we've made. Sorry to commandeer your shout out here. But the community, just piggybacking off what you're saying, the community is amazing, and the fact that they're watching our videos to the point where it scratches my head as to why they would want to watch those videos. We both love you, and it our appreciation for the time and effort that we put in. That we appreciate you guys taking the time to watch those videos. That's all we've got ultimately is our time, right?
Yeah. So. And that's if this is your first time listening, welcome. We've seen a lot of new faces this week coming in.
It's been amazing. Just keep it up, and we're you too, nerd. I appreciate you for everything that you do. I couldn't do any of this without you, and we're gonna keep plugging away and keep giving the people what they want, whether they want it or not. We're going to keep giving it to you. But either way, I'll like to believe that it's because you want it.
Yeah. In your face. I'm going to be very aggressive and then pull it all back. It's fine.
So cool, man. Well, it's good to see you again. Good talking to you.
You too.
All right, y'all. Have a great week.
Yeah. Have a good week, everyone. Peace.